Hello. I was being interviewed today and someone asked me, the person that was interviewing me asked me, what makes a good leader? And it reminded me of an exercise that I do on leadership retreats. And I find the answer is very subjective. You know, different people have different ideas, but it's obviously a really good idea to understand what kind of leader people expect from you. I would say that good leadership really depends on the situation you're in, but there are some core characteristics that people have, and obviously because of people's experiences these can change. But it's a good idea to ask your team as a useful little exercise to use what I call leadership charisma kind of challenge, if you like. And I introduce the word charisma as a constraint, because constraints are a trigger for creativity. So I ask people to write down what they think makes a good leader. And of course, as I said, that'll be subjective and dependent on their experiences. But these are mine. So leaders should be courageous because they're often pioneering, or they're taking people to a new place. They're leading people through a process sometimes. But I think courage is quite an important one to actually answer difficult questions and to face reality, accept reality. Yeah, very important going forward, I think, with all the challenges that people and the world face. So yeah, courage is an important one, but it should be balanced with humility. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I can move the world." And I think leaders are really a leverage for potential in themselves, potentially in other people, and leveraging the potential in the situation that they find themselves in. And so leadership is the lever that Archimedes was talking about, and humility is the place to stand. It's great for business owners to become a better leader. Instead of being either an entrepreneur or a founder or a coach or a manager, a leader can step back and look at the situation, decide what they want to do, and leverage the potential within the people to find all the answers. They don't have to be the font of all answers, basically. They have to be articulate. They have to be able to articulate the mission, the purpose, the vision. And it's interestingly that good leaders tend to tell stories 4 times as much. Stories are a great way of communicating with people because they go around the kind of conscious barriers. We just listen to the story and take in the information that way more easily. They have to be good at building relationships. Obviously building rapport, but also, you know, charismatic leaders are people are often known for being great communicators and able to build relationships by, when they're talking to people, being present with that person and really building rapport. Also, because of networks, leadership is about learning and leveraging the potential. So leveraging the potential of a network or a system means making as many connections as possible and developing those. And also making the relationships between different subjects, something I quite enjoy doing, say from psychology to evolutionary theory to experiences of being in my military career and also working. And so creating those different relationships, those different associations, is a great thing for leaders to get involved in. Idealist, realist, sort of idealistic. It should really be idealistic, realist. And what I mean by that is that they've got this ideal view of the world. They'd like the world to be a better place for everyone, socially just, environmentally sustainable, and personally fulfilling place to live. But they're also realistic, and to get into that brave new world, they know it's a difficult path. And again, they kind of tie in with courage there. The next one I put is self-awareness. The Greeks say self-awareness is the beginning of all wisdom. I believe that there are 3 basic principles, fundamental but basic principles about leadership, and that is understanding people, the life cycles that we go through, and also the art of discovery. And self-awareness allows you to be able to be understanding of other people, understanding what kind of behaviours are required depending on the situation where you find yourself in a life cycle. So self-awareness, as I say, the Greeks say that's the beginning of all wisdom, and I agree with them. They must have a moral compass. Again, this is subjective to me, but I think that nowadays we need people, if people put themselves forward as leaders, they have to have some sort of moral compass, which I kind of think wipes out quite a lot of the people that we consider leaders in today's world. I won't make that's another video probably. And the other one is authentic. Okay, leaders come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. I say inspirational leadership is ordinary people achieving extraordinary things in a constantly shifting world, leading themselves and by example others into a better world for everyone, a world which is, as I said before, socially just, environmentally sustainable, and a personally fulfilling place to live and work. And as such, there are lots of different ways of getting up there. We just have to be authentic and choose the path that's right for you. So if you're a business owner or a manager or a coach or a leader, great one to do with your team and let them come up with some ideas about what they think is a good example of leadership, and then you can obviously, it'll spur some conversation on afterwards.